Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Real Reviews, two reviewers with no agenda. My name is Smeet Bass, and today is Silent Sunday. And you know what that means? Time to talk about a silent film. Today I am talking about The Bat from 1926, directed by Roland West. The film is about a criminal masked as a bat who is a thief. A bat burglar instead of a cat burglar, if you will. You see at the beginning of the film the bat murders someone and steals their emeralds. It isn't a gruesome death at all. You only see his legs hanging out of a window, but it does a good job of implying what happened. Let me get this out of the way right now. This movie and the remake by the same director called The Bat Whisperers from 1930 inspired Batman. Like the Batman.
What are you? I'm Batman.
There is no way I can review this movie without getting that out of the way now. There's even a scene where the bat uses a grappling hook to climb up a roof, and there's also the bat signal in the movie. Yes, he uses it to incite fear in his victims, just like Batman did. As a standalone art piece, the film is pretty good still, though. The film was believed to have been lost until it was discovered in the 1980s, which makes me so happy that they found this movie. The music in the version that I watched was very haunting and kept me glued to the screen. It is one of the earliest examples I can think of where it's a bunch of people in an old dark house. The earliest example I could think of while watching this movie was The Old Dark House, the movie name, from 1932 with Boris Karloff.
Sitting around? What do we know about each other? Not a thing.
I've got a funny feeling something dreadful might happen to us.
But that movie didn't come out for another 6 years, so I consider this one of the earliest examples of a bunch of people in an old dark house being spooked by something they don't understand. The house is being rented for the summer to a woman named Cornelia. One of the funniest things about her is she's seen sewing through over half of the movie or carrying a purse. You would think that with everything that is going on, she'd want to give up her sewing hobby for the time, but nope, she commits to it. Like she doesn't think it's a big deal that there's a guy in a bat outfit skulking around her house, but okay, we'll go with it. The housemaid in the movie is a little annoying with her facial acting, but I understand she's supposed to be the one who observes things that no one else does. But her reaction to everything can get kind of annoying and tiring. Also, how do the lights just keep turning off at random? There are plenty of times when the characters are shown turning off lights with their hands or putting out candles. But sometimes the lights will just be off and someone will sneak into a room. And I just wonder, how the hell does no one notice this person? It's not that dark. But you know what? That's part of the fun. There are foggy rooms and creepy nighttime atmosphere going on here. It isn't exactly a horror movie, but it is a whodunit with a spooky atmosphere to it. Without getting into spoilers, I will say that there is a character that gets shot pretty early on, and there is a police officer also at the house. Why the hell do they just leave the body lying there? Even for 1926, that seems weird, but still part of the fun, I guess. Somebody has stolen $200,000, which I'd like to point out is $3.5 million in 2024's money. That is a stupid amount of money. So you understand why everyone is looking for this bat and the money. Of course, there is someone or someones that has a secret in this movie. And it's fun to try and figure out who and what. That's what makes these movies fun. The only part of the movie that is weird to me is there is a room in the house where all the candles go out when they are lit. Like somebody will light it and then all of a sudden it'll just go out. It sounds pretty spooky enough, but it's not ever followed up on, and it just feels like a scene that is there only to incite terror to the audience. But that's still part of the fun too. I think another slight problem is that a few characters just show up at random and you don't understand who they are or why they are there. But it's to build a suspect list, so I understand that as well. So I still consider that to be part of the fun. The bat outfit is pretty good and has a monster-style look to it. But since you see its eyes, you know that there's a person behind that mask. So that's where it hurts the horror aspect, but helps the mystery aspect. I'm just a sucker for horror films, I guess, and I love it when the threat doesn't have its face shown. But that's on me for hoping it would be more of a horror film, which it still is, but it does lean toward the mystery aspect way more in the latter half. The second act is a little slow because it's just a bunch of people searching spooky dark areas and people trying to figure out what is going on. But we need those slower parts to build the suspense of the finale. I understand that as well. Once the mystery starts to be revealed in the third act, there are some hilarious bits of comedy with people getting stuck behind secret walls and a woman that hides under her bed. So it does have a sense of humor to it. There's also a fight scene that seems sped up a little bit for both dramatic and comedic effect. It's an interesting mix. The shots are far out enough that you can tell what is happening, but since many people wear dark clothes in this movie, especially the men, it's sometimes difficult to tell who is doing what in the fight, but that's okay. Any slight criticisms I'm giving to this movie, though, are just that. They're slight. They don't undermine the film in any way, and I think it's an effective mystery that is an awesome relic to show people just what inspired Batman. It isn't a masterpiece or anything, but it does have good suspense and good performances mostly, and it takes place in a foggy old dark house, so it is just spooky fun. There is a remake that is a talkie, and it is made by the same director of this movie, but since silent movies don't get as much love as they should, I have not seen it yet. But maybe it could make a double feature for yourself if you want to see the things that inspire spooky houses, foggy sets, and of course, a guy in a bat costume. I give The Bat a B plus or 3.5 stars out of 4. Check it out if you want a good silent movie that also helped to inspire Batman. That's it for this edition of Silent Sunday. If you like this video, we also review new movies, and we are doing a lot of horror material here in the coming months, amongst other new things. So if you like any of this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday for another edition of Silent Sunday. Until then, I am Ghost.